Hi, I'm Amber,
And I'm Kirsten.
and you're listening to
Lurking in the Shadows.
Hi!
Welcome to episode 3 of Lurking in the Shadows. Today I will be sharing with you the
Yay!
shocking, gruesome, and absolutely horrible murder of 22-year-old Savanna LaFontaine Greywind, who was 8 months pregnant. Her story is important to tell because she was Native American. There is an acronym, MMIW, which stands for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. Murder is the third leading cause of death for Native women, both U.S. and Canada, and the murder rate is 10 times higher than the national average for women living on reservations. This is alarming because only 2% of the U.S. population is natives.
Oh, wow. 2%? Less than 2%?
They only make up 2% of the population.
Wow.
And murder is their
That's crazy.
third leading cause of death.
Third leading
For
cause.
2% of the population.
Wow. That's terrible.
We will go further into these statistics later on in the episode, but I chose this case because Native Americans hold a very special place in my heart. As a kid, I had always wanted to be like full-blooded Native American. I don't know why. I thought Native Americans were the coolest. And there was talk that we had Native American blood in our family because my dad's grandma was named Mita Barefoot. But Tara, my sister, did, I don't remember if she did 23andMe or Ancestry, one of the two. And we have 0 Native American lineage in our family. 0. So I don't know where my family, they even said, oh, we're from the Shawnee tribe. Like, I don't know where the hell they got that from. I was so upset. Like, I was heartbroken when I learned that I was not even 1% Native American.
No, I mean, yeah, I would be devastated too when you like really want to embrace like your own like heritage, like if you did find out like the percentage of it. However, at least it's something that you can go about like in a different way of showing support of a a group of people who definitely don't get any kind of attention that they should, whether it's murder or
right.
That's just what we're happen to be covering. But
Yeah, I went to a powwow once when I was younger, and it was so cool. I'd love to do that again.
Yes, I really would love to go. Me and Steph were actually just talking about this the other day, that we would love to go to one, because when we went as kids, because I feel like everybody goes at some point as a kid, or at least like in Pennsylvania we did, that you as a child, we took it for granted of like, oh, look at this fun experience, but now as an adult I want to experience it as an adult, so that I
can appreciate the culture
really,
and everything.
Yes, that's what I want, like, because definitely as a kid you weren't doing that. So, and I'm not too far from Cherokee, North Carolina, so they have a lot of things up that way. We just haven't gotten there to do anything, but we definitely would.
And we're never going to discuss politics on our podcast unless we have a case that like specifically has to do with it. But some events that have been happening so far in this administration do make me fear for Native Americans a little bit. That's all I'm going to say about that. So like usual, I want to spend some time on the victim. Savanna Marie Greywind, whose Dakota name is Where Thunder Finds Her. Isn't that so cool?
That is so pretty.
It's so cool. I love that.
Wow. That's like
It is.
poetic.
She was born August 9th, 1995, to parents Norberta and Joe Greywind in Belcourt, North Dakota. I did have kind of a hard time finding information about her, like her early life and just like about who she was as a person. All the articles just talk about the crime. So I'm going to read what her family wrote about her on the funeral home website. She grew up in Fargo and lived here until moving to Spirit Lake Reservation in 2005. Savanna graduated from Warwick, North Dakota High School in 2013. She lived at Spirit Lake until coming to Fargo in January of 2016. After high school, Savanna received her CNA through Next Step in 2014. She began work at a nursing home in Devil's Lake, which is now called Eventide. She then transferred to Eventide in Fargo. Savanna had been dating her boyfriend Ashton since her freshman year in high school. Together, they planned on raising a family. Family was everything to Savanna. She loved horses, all animals, the residents that she helped, and all the children in her life. She helped raise her niece, Odessa, and nephew Shane Jr. Those kids were a huge part of her life, and everything she did revolved around them. End quote. I watched a documentary episode on her case on Hulu. It's a little series called Me Hereafter. They cover a different case each episode, but hers was the first episode. And her family in that episode described her as both a city and a country girl. She loved both of them. She enjoyed country music and horses. She was always on her phone. If you texted her, she would respond right away, which will play a part in this case. She took a lot of pictures and selfies and was always on Facebook. She was goofy, always had a positive attitude. She respected her elders. They're called uncles and aunties in her culture. She was very hardworking. She wanted to have nice things. She was working as a CNA and wanted to go back to school to pursue nursing.
Wow. So somebody who obviously was very caring at just naturally, wanting to get into nursing and.
Yep. And she loved her job. She loved working at the nursing home.
Aww.
So this case technically begins in January of 2017 when a 38-year-old woman named Brooke Cruz tells her 32-year-old boyfriend William Henn she is pregnant. It's apparently unknown to William at the time, but this was a lie Brooke told to keep him in their relationship. So we're going to get into a little background about Brooke and William. They had what's described as a tumultuous relationship since 2014. There was drinking, drug use, and domestic violence at times. So they thought, let's have a baby to fix our relationship.
Oh.
Because that always works.
Yes.
Yep.
Solution. Perfect.
Savannah's dad even reported he caught them fighting a few times. They lived together, but Will briefly left in January 2017, which is also when Brooke tells him she's pregnant. She didn't want him to leave despite their toxic relationship. They both also already had children with other people that were not in their custody.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yep.
One of those. Okay.
William fractured his son's skull from a previous relationship on a changing table and was convicted of child abuse and neglect.
Oh my God!
Yep.
What?
That's the man she wants to have a baby with.
She's with this man?
Yep.
What?
Brooke then lost custody of her kids and blamed it on William's conviction, but she wants to have a baby with him. Make it make sense.
Yeah. No.
You can't.
We can't.
No, you can't.
Wow. To fracture a child's skull. Like, yeah, I'm real curious what excuse he would have gave for that one.
Idea,
he rolled over and cracked his head.
I have no idea.
Wow.
He was convicted, so it wasn't a good one.
That's probably, that's probably the story he spun to her. Like, oh, it wasn't my fault, and then she was like, oh, you're right. I love you.
Yeah, I don't know. And apparently Brooke did not look pregnant at all. So if she became pregnant in January like she claimed, then her due date is actually 2 weeks past the time Savanna goes missing, that we're going to be talking about, according to a fake pregnancy log she kept that stated her due date was August 6th. So this is when Brooke decided she needs to find a baby now. And that's when Savanna comes into the picture.
So it was a diary.
Yep, she's keeping her own little pregnancy log, and even though she's not pregnant.
Do you know what it said in it?
No, I didn't actually get to see what it said. But it had her last menstrual period date and then her due date, which would have been August 6th, she claims.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Because I was just curious. I was like, well, does it say things like, oh, we're really showing today?
Yeah, I don't know what else she wrote.
What kinds of things were going through her mind at this point? With how far? Because obviously, how far is she taking this lie
right?
Now?
Yeah. Then it becomes they kind of wonder is there mental health involved, or is this simply all a lie?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was curious what was in the diary to try and get a little bit background of maybe where her mind is coming from.
I knew, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew, because that probably would have gave us a little bit of insight, but obviously,
yep,
it probably gets crazy.
Now we're going to fast forward to August 19th, 2017. So we just talked about January 2017, where Brooke's telling her boyfriend she's pregnant. Now it's August 19th of 2017. Savanna is 22 years old and 8 months pregnant. Her due date is September 20th. She was still living with her parents until the baby arrived, and then her and her boyfriend hoped to get an apartment together. The 19th was a Saturday, and her dad said it was just any typical Saturday. They're catching up on chores, relaxing. They ordered a pizza. Around 1:15 p.m., their upstairs neighbor, Brooke Cruz, came and knocked on their door. Savanna answered, and Brooke asked if she would come upstairs to help her with a sewing project, and she would give her $20 for it. She recently bought a lot of baby stuff and supplies, so she figured, why not? Her dad told her, you don't need to do that. It's only $20, but she said, no, I can do it. I got it. Even though she did just get paid the day before as well. The Greywinds lived in apartment 2, which was more in the basement of the building, to the left of the front door if you're looking at the apartment building, and Brooke is in apartment 5, which is at the top right of the building. Savanna's family didn't know Brooke too well, but her mom, Brooke's mom, remembers that she would come into the store she worked at and they would have small talk sometimes. Otherwise, they didn't know each other very well. Shortly after arriving to the apartment, Brooke picked a fight with Savanna, accusing her of mistreating cats. Yeah. They argued, and then Brooke shoved Savanna to the floor in the bathroom, where she hit her head on the bathroom sink and became unconscious.
Wait, so how'd they get into
that?
The bathroom?
I'm not sure. It's a very small apartment, so I think they're standing in the living room, and she just pushes her, and then she lands on the floor in the bathroom.
Okay, so we're in Savanna's
Brooke goes upstairs and goes in because she wanted that $20. And Brooke lured her there with the thought that she's just helping her with a sewing project. And then as soon as she gets inside, Brooke starts this fight, this fake fight, and then shoves her to the ground.
Okay.
After Savanna hits her head, she becomes unconscious. So this is graphic. Brooke then grabbed a utility knife and cut her baby from her womb, while Savanna went in and out of consciousness. Yeah.
That's
barbaric. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't
No,
even
I
imagine
literally
that you're just
I literally
there.
yeah, I cannot imagine. I don't even know what she was going through. I have no idea. Yeah.
Shock.
And Brooke said while she did this, Savanna would wake up and then pass back out. Wake up, pass back out. Yeah.
Wow. So she is totally with it. She's
Oh yeah, to do this, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
William walked in shortly after Brooke performed this C-section. He asked if Savanna was dead. Brooke said she didn't know. So apparently William grabbed a rope and strangled Savanna, then said if she wasn't done before, she is now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's horrible. There's not many words to describe how horrible this is.
Yeah, that made my tummy
Yeah.
upset.
Savanna was supposed to
that
take
poor
her
girl.
brother to work at 2:30, but she never showed. Her mom was cleaning the house and texting Savanna, but she wasn't answering, which is very unlike her because, like I mentioned, she always had her phone on her, so when she got a text, she would respond right away. Her dad went up and knocked on the door, and Brooke told him, "We're still working on the project, she'll be down soon." Her mom knew something wasn't right when Savanna wasn't replying back, but she just kept doing the chores she was doing. After a while, they went back up, and Brooke said Savanna had already left, and she thinks she went for a walk. Her mom reported that Savanna was complaining of her feet being swollen that day, so she knew she wouldn't have just gone for a walk. She also knew Savanna would always get herself fixed up before going anywhere, so that's when she knew something was really wrong. She wouldn't just walk out of the house without putting makeup on or changing her clothes. Her dad went back upstairs at 4 p.m. and he asked if he could come inside to look for his daughter, and Brooke said no. So her mom was fed up. She's like, "That's it, I'm calling the cops." They told 911.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That, I'm coming up here and I want to see my child. You best believe if that was my mama, she would have been.
Your mom just would have pushed right past her.
Yeah, she would have been
get out of my way,
bitch. Yeah, literally. So, but I mean, I get it. Some people aren't as maybe aggressive as my mom, but that's my mama would have went in there and guns blazing. Her right arm and her left arm, pow pow. Okay, but I couldn't imagine what they were going through at that time. That
her mom had that gut
they're not
feeling
getting
something's
any
not
answers.
right.
Yeah, and you're not getting any answers, and now all of a sudden it's 4 p.m. and I mean, thankfully they didn't wait too much longer to sit there and call somebody. But
it's she's not in the apartment, then where is she? Where would she have gone?
Yeah, exactly.
They told 911 that their daughter went upstairs to help a neighbor with a project but never came back. At 5:17, police arrived. Officer Sam Bowman from Fargo Police Department went upstairs and said that after he knocked on the door, it was answered almost immediately. Brooke was opening the door and answering it. He asked if he could come in and talk, and Brooke said yes. He was a little confused as to why Brooke would want an 8-month pregnant woman to model for a sewing project. But she said, "No, I was just altering a dress for myself and needed an extra set of hands." He did see a dress sitting out with sewing needles on it, so her story checked out. He looked around and did not see an 8-month pregnant woman anywhere. It was a small 1-bedroom apartment with just a living room, kitchen, 1 small bathroom, and 3 small closets. In the bedroom, Brooke's boyfriend, William, was laying on the bed messing around on his cell phone. Bowman didn't see anything abnormal in the bedroom either, but he's just simply looking around. He's not opening or digging through things. He's just kind of looking to see if there's another person up there. Afterwards, he went back down to the Greywinds and told them Brooke told him Savanna already left, but Norberta said, well, her car keys and wallet are still here, so she couldn't have left. So they reported her as a missing person. Police at this time are thinking there's no proof she didn't leave on her own. They just know she didn't go back to her apartment. So police are thinking she could have just left on her own.
Okay. I mean, I get what they're saying, her leaving, from coming, even though it's just from upstairs to downstairs, there's still that little window of who knows what could happen or where she went. Who knows she even went downstairs. So I get what they're saying, but, After
Bowman left, her parents went back up and knocked on Brooke's door, but she never answered. Her dad says now he wishes he would have just broke the door down. I know.
Oh,
Police come back.
me too.
What'd you say? I know.
Me too.
I know.
And then I would have just beat everybody up.
Police come back at 10:30 p.m. and the first officer, Sam Bowman, returned with 2 other police officers. They again asked Brooke for her series of events that day, and she told the same story. They looked around again, and William was still in the same spot on the bed, which Dr. Bowman thought was weird that he didn't even get up to come out and talk to these police officers that are coming into their apartment. Again, nothing looked out of place, though. They couldn't tear the place apart without a warrant, and they also didn't want to push Brooke too hard and risk her no longer cooperating.
And it's true. I get it. Like, they have nothing right now.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Police are still considering Savanna leaving on her own, but this whole time, Savanna was in a trash bag in the bathroom closet. And her baby was tucked in between pillows on the bed, which is why William stayed on the bed both times.
Is the baby alive?
Yes.
It's alive? Oh my God.
Yep. That's why he's chilling on the bed on his phone, because he's trying to, he doesn't want them to search the bed. He's like, oh, I'm just chilling here.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. In a trash bag in the closet.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
After this second search, William hollowed out a dresser and put Savanna's body in this hollowed out dresser. So he took the drawers out, but ripped the drawer parts off and then just hammered the front back on.
Yeah, I can picture it in my head. Exactly what he did. Yeah. Wow. Real thought out.
Because they're like, this is getting too close. We need to do something with her. They're who's going to open up a drawer to look for an 8-month pregnant woman? You know what I mean? You're not going to look for her in a dresser
he's just
drawer.
la da da. Just taking my dresser downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now on Sunday, August 20th, around 10 a.m., Norberta emailed the news about her missing daughter, hung up flyers, they called family, and they started their own search. Officer Bowman also called Norberta on this day to find out if she had heard anything from Savanna, and she said no. So he asked her, what do you think happened to her? And her response was, quote, I think that crazy lady in apartment 5 lured Savanna up there to kill her baby and take her. Unquote.
Yeah. And I'll never doubt a mother's intuition, really. So.
And I think this police officer is going to learns that then later on. Bowman reminds her that Brooke let them into the apartment. She remained calm the whole time. They searched it, and she shouldn't jump to the worst conclusion. Around 6 p.m. the same day on the 20th, a third search is conducted with different officers. They did a little more of a thorough search, but still came up with nothing, and Brooke showed no signs of deception when she was interviewed. After this third search, William and Brooke removed the dresser from the apartment. Because they're like, we got to do something now. They've come to our apartment 3 times. We got to get rid of it. 3 times. And they don't even open up a dresser drawer.
They didn't open a dresser drawer?
I mean, I know I'm assuming they're just thinking she's not in here. It's a dresser. But what if there's other clues? What if there's a bloody knife or something?
Honestly, I'm not worried. I want to find anything.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah.
You know? What if her ID? What if they stole her ID or something? Or, you know, I don't know. She probably didn't have her purse on her. But I'm just saying, you know, anything.
Yeah. Researchers know they never checked that dresser. Brooke reports how heavy it was and that she fell while carrying it, causing a thud, and she recalls being shocked no one opened their door or looked outside. Because in an interview she does later on, she said, she's surprised by that, and, she thought, Savanna's dad was going to just come out and beat him up. But no one, I guess, heard the thud. I'm not sure. They then dumped her. What'd you say?
she was running on a guilty conscience at that point. People probably just like heard a thud. I live in an apartment. You hear a thud is whatever, you know. She was paranoid.
And she does have a very guilty conscience. She does eventually come clean, but
yeah.
So after they take her, they put her in their truck and they dump her in the Red River. The Red River has an interesting and sad history to it. The Red River Valley in North Dakota and Minnesota was a hub for Native American cultures, mainly the Dakota, Chippewa, and Métis. They used it for fur trade. The river flows north up through Winnipeg, Canada, and drains into Lake Winnipeg. The Hulu documentary I watched said 7 bodies were pulled from the Red River in 2014. I believe most, if not all, of those victims were Indigenous because in the documentary it said, quote, "That's a tragedy for my people." It is.
Really sad.
But I could not find a name of any of the victims except for one. Like, I was typing in 7 bodies found, Red River, 2014, changing the word. I could not find a single name of any of those victims except for one, which was Tina Fontaine, who was only 15 years old when she was found wrapped in plastic and a duvet cover on the Winnipeg side of the Red River in 2014. So that was the story Crime Junkie did recently.
Okay. I was going to say, that's obviously a crime. That is not, we can't claim accident
15 years old.
15. Wow.
She was from the Sag King First Nation in Manitoba. Her case is very sad because she was failed in many ways, and it sparked outrage among Indigenous people in Canada, and I'm sure the U.S. as well. The man charged with her murder, Raymond Cormier, which is another bad Raymond. Yes.
Raymond?
There's so many bad Raymonds. But he was acquitted by a jury in 2018 of her murder.
What? Wow.
So that poor girl got no justice.
You know, I really
murdered at 15 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say our podcast should just turn into all the injustices.
It should. That's literally why. This is part of the reason why I wanted to start this podcast, to shed light on that, because I don't know that people are aware of how much horribleness there is in the crime world.
Yeah. In cases.
Whether it be just police not doing their job, not caring enough to fully investigate, corruption, sliding things under the rug. There's a lot of it. Now, we're going to shed light on that.
Yeah, it's really sad. And it's a lot, like, and these are cases of people who, I don't want to, like, the victims are, like, innocents. Can you imagine how many cases that are, like, known criminal violence that are probably swept under the rug, that are never prosecuted or anything like that, because they're just like, oh, another gang just shooting each other. You know, these are just the ones that we can sit here and tell a backstory and everything on, and, you know, the innocence that we would like some attention for. And it's in every case. We are how many episodes in now?
Yep, it is terrible. A group called Drag the Red was formed in 2014 following Tina's death. Their mission is to help solve cases of missing and murdered Indigenous women by searching the river and riverbank for remains and other evidence. They use metal bars with hooks and chains on them to drag things up out of the water. So now we're going to go back to the story. Josh Luce from Fargo Police Department took an interest in her case because the apartment is a block from where he grew up. He himself went to Brooke and William's apartment on Monday, August 21st, but no one answered. Him and another officer checked around the apartment dumpsters and searched the immediate area, but they didn't find any evidence. William had a warrant out for his arrest for another unrelated case, so police used that to arrest him so they could get him in an interview room.
Okay.
They arrested him when William and Brooke returned from a trip to Walmart. As they arrested him, Brooke quickly went back up to their apartment, and she was carrying a large bag. Savanna's parents told the police to search it because they think there's probably a baby in that bag, but the police were more concerned about arresting William. No.
So they didn't look?
And they do say in the documentary I watched that unfortunately they would have needed a warrant to search the bag anyway.
Oh,
that's what
really?
they said. At the station, they asked William about his account of events. He says Savanna was there when he got home from work, then he went to the bedroom to unwind from the day, and he reports seeing Savanna leave that day. While interviewing him at the station, another officer comes in and interrupts them because they got a call about William being in a hit-and-run accident at Walmart that night. He does admit to it, and this gave them a lead to check out why they were at Walmart. William was the only one who got out of the car when they looked at surveillance footage, but Brooke was with him. She just stayed in the truck while he went inside. A receipt showed Love's on it, which is a diaper brand. He bought a size 0 newborn of Love's diapers.
Oh my goodness.
And there's footage of him scanning the diapers. So he's telling police he saw Savanna leave, but he's buying diapers.
And that's all they bought?
He bought like a pair of shoes, some other random things.
No other baby items, though? Like...
Because she already has stuff stocked up.
I wonder... yeah, okay, that's right, yes.
We'll get into that a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
The police also interviewed William's boss, who said William told him that Monday his wife had a baby on Saturday. Savanna went missing Saturday.
Yeah.
Brooke named the baby Phoenix. And this all changed the investigation because now they know Brooke and William are involved in Savanna's disappearance. Now they have the proof.
All right, well, I'm mad that she named him Phoenix because that's kind of a cute name. And poo on her.
Because that's also not the baby's name.
No. But, and I don't want to, like, give any hate to any Phoenixes because that's a cute name. But.
Just not in this situation.
Fuck you, Brooke. Yeah.
Officer Bowman reported he felt like he was going to throw up when he found out that there was likely a baby in the apartment each time he searched. The baby somehow never made a sound. Anytime they were there. None. No cry.
Bad baby.
No cry, no coo, no hiccup, no burp, nothing. Isn't that crazy? What are the odds?
I know. Because they were definitely probably in there more than like a 15-minute visit. At least I would hope that they were in there for longer than like a 15-minute visit. But I don't know. What are we feeling like we should be more sick over? That Savanna's body was there too?
Well, they don't even know that yet. Savanna's still missing. We only have a baby. We don't have Savanna.
So when he was quoted with that,
That's why he felt sick. He's like, how was there a baby there? I heard nothing.
Yeah.
And her parents were right earlier when they were saying that there's probably a baby in Brooke's bag because the baby was in her bag. She took the baby along when they went to Walmart.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Of course they did.
On Thursday, August 24th, the police get a search warrant for apartment 5. Brooke was handcuffed. She was arguing about them breaking her door down when they went in to arrest her. Then they tore the police apart looking for Savanna or the baby. And they found the baby laying between pillows again. That's where she was when they searched before.
Wow.
Roberta says she remembers yelling at the cops saying, "I told you, I told you."
Good. I hope she screamed it to the world.
The baby who Savanna named Hazley Joe, the Joe is after her dad, was surprisingly born healthy.
Hazley's so cute.
She was a healthy baby despite being born prematurely by a C-section performed by someone with no medical knowledge.
Yeah.
After this, the search for Savanna immediately continues. While interrogating Brooke at the station, she claimed Savanna asked her for advice on inducing labor.
Yep. Oh, shut up.
Yep.
Shut your face.
Brooke says she told her to get a long hook, guide it up to the cervix, and break your water. She claims she advised her to use a long shish kebab, and that Savanna left her apartment alive at 2:45. Then reports Savanna came back and gave Brooke her baby because she didn't want it.
I was going to say, where'd the baby come in? I was waiting for you.
So that's why she has this baby. Savannah didn't want it, and she just went missing. She ran away. Gave me her baby and ran away.
Oh. So she left out the apartment, got that shish kebab, did what you said. Baby popped out.
And she brings it right back to
and then she's like, here's shish kebab, baby.
You can't make this stuff up.
So believable. I know. I always want to watch these videos to see how much confidence these people have.
Oh, there's footage of her. I'll have to send it to you.
I'll have to look it up. Yeah,
there's footage of this interview. It was found that she printed forms from the North Dakota Department of Health, looked up how to obtain a birth certificate, how to register a newborn, and how to obtain a social security number. She had Google searches on how long a baby could survive if the mother stopped breathing. She stocked up on baby supplies. So this was premeditated.
Oh my God. What a Google search. Oh. Wow.
They also found anatomy books that she used to train herself to perform the C-section.
Wow.
Yeah. She was committed. I'll say that.
This was full, like, there is...
Who comes up with something like that?
Planet.
I need a baby. Let me go cut one out of someone. Like, what? Why don't you just say you had a miscarriage or something?
I know, like... How does your brain come to that conclusion that, well, I didn't get pregnant and now I need a baby because I'm technically supposed to have one right now, so let's just
She's already technically 2 weeks overdue when Savanna goes missing on the 19th, because Brooke wrote down that her due date was August 6th.
Yeah. So I must go steal one.
That's the only logical explanation, right?
Yeah, what else am I going to do? And, like, it has to be newborn.
It's not funny. I'm laughing because I'm so mad and uncomfortable.
I know. Like, it's so stupid. Well, it's also, like, stupid how, like, your brain, like, what? Like, I'm, like...
Yeah, you can't comprehend it.
No. What? Why? Go get a real-life baby dog. You already have mental health issues. I promise that... No, I would rather you go buy that doll and take it to the grocery store, okay?
A baby doll isn't going to keep her boyfriend around, though.
Oh.
That's her whole plan for this. She's trying to keep him around.
He left as soon as she said she was pregnant. So it sounds to me like they probably argued.
He left a little before that. Yeah, they had an argument, and to keep him to come back, she's like, I'm pregnant.
Oh, it was to get him to come back. Was this man stupid enough to not ask for proof? Not be like, wow, honey, why haven't we gone to, like...
Yeah, I don't know about at what point he knew about her plan. Because he'll claim he didn't know until he came in and saw a baby. But...
I was going to say, because it doesn't seem like he hesitated whatsoever.
Yeah,
he walked in the door and was
so
like...
they must have had a plan of what they were going to do if the C-section didn't kill her. You know what I mean? So he must have been involved in the planning of this.
Yeah, but I would love to... I'm curious when he would have joined in on that plan. Because, like, she's documenting her pregnancy journey, but when does she finally come out to him, or does he finally realize that, like, she's obviously
Right.
telling a
And
lie?
clearly she
Or
doesn't
was it
have the
literally as
9-month
he walked?
pregnant belly.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like,
But
so,
he went along with it
and she's
enough to
obviously
tell
not.
his boss that his wife had a baby.
Yeah. And, like, as soon as he walked in the door, like, and do you know with the autopsy, will you tell us later what the cause of death was?
They can't prove it. Yeah.
Really?
Which we'll get to. But yeah.
Dang it. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So now we're getting to August 27th, 2017. A body was found by kayakers on the Red River, wrapped in a garbage bag and caught on a fallen log. It was later identified as Sanna Greywind. So she again is another victim in this Red River.
Yeah.
Officials charged Cruz and Hen with conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and providing false information to police. At the sentencing hearing in February 2018, her mom said, "I get so upset and angry and can't understand how or why these people could have taken my girl from me, from us. The part of losing a child is like no other pain. I now know that pain. My heart is literally broken." So sad. I know.
That's so sad for her. Because every instinct in her
She was right.
was
She knew.
right.
From the
Yeah, and
moment
her
she didn't
hands
get
were
a text
tied.
back,
Like,
she knew something was wrong.
yeah, and there's nothing, like, it happened as soon as Savanna
Yeah.
got into the apartment.
Even if
There's
they
nothing
would have,
that,
when they came up 2 hours later, like, she was already dead. There's nothing they even could have done.
Yeah, so there's nothing that they could have done, but, like, a mother knows, and that's
Yeah.
really sad that.
Brooke was given a life sentence without parole. William Henn was originally ordered to serve a life sentence for his role in the kidnapping of Savannah's baby, but was resentenced in 2019 to spend 20 years behind bars. They couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt William killed Savanna.
Yes, I knew that's what you were going to say. No, I don't care. If she was dead at that point, either way, whether she was or not, his intention was to kill her. He didn't know whether or not she was dead or not. So why can't we judge this under the like with the same impression that, like, he acted upon unknowing whether she was dead or not? So like, he obviously was trying to kill her, so, like, he should be charged just the same.
Officer,
I'm so glad we could agree on that.
Yes.
I'm so that's frustrating again.
Yep, it is another frustrating case. That's why I want to clear him.
He just ruthlessly came in there and just possibly strangled her to death. I mean, to be honest, there's a high chance that, I mean, I don't know how long it took her to cut the baby out, but high chance she could have still been alive.
I think she was.
I really think she probably was too, because
in shock and passed out, but I think she was alive.
Oh, my tummy again, Kirsten.
I know.
That makes me really sad.
I know.
For her.
I can't imagine what she went through.
Okay.
Officer Liu even said to William when he was in custody, "You don't have to say a word. Just show me on a map where she is." But he said, "I couldn't be disloyal to Brooke. He's disgusting."
That is disgusting.
When they were trying to find her, he wouldn't show them where she's at because he couldn't be disloyal to Brooke. This woman you were going to leave, you temporarily left.
I can't wait to see these pictures of Brooke.
I'll show you.
What it was worth for...
Oh, not much.
Let me tell you, though, like, she got into that relationship with him already under the... knowing that he fractured a child's skull. Yep. So, here we are, I guess. Ah, that's disgusting. Both of them, despicable human beings. Oof.
They should be cut open. That should be their punishment. I don't know why we don't do that. Why don't we give people the punishment of what they did to their victim? Why don't we do that?
Because we can't. Like, who would we get to, like, do that to somebody else? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I guess.
That's the problem. Yeah, I guess. We just, like, we take other psychopaths in the jail and say, you know what, we'll reduce your sentence by 5 years if you execute this.
Maybe that's the solution.
All the serial killers that are on death row are just, like, killing each other, you know, with how they killed her. We're on to something, I guess.
Because I know there's a lot of gray area even with the death penalty, but I'm for it sometimes. Like, people like this, you're a waste of space, you're a waste of air, you're a waste of money, get out. Get them out.
Tune in to my next episode, because my next episode involves the death penalty. Yeah, so gotta listen to next week's episode for that.
But yeah, in some cases I understand, like, no, let them suffer, but they're not really suffering in prison. Like, yeah, they're in prison, but you got a roof over your head, you got meals. That's not really suffering to me.
I know we should always just try and keep everything a gray area, and I try and keep my case when I go into it then as neutral as I can, because I always, when we have a controversial conversation, because it technically is, I never want to, like, rock anybody's boat, but since we're not currently in my case, I will say that in my opinion, I am pretty pro death penalty in majority of cases. There always are, of course, those cases. I'm not going to say 100% of the time, but I definitely lean more on the side of pro. I
agree. Yeah, there's certain cases where no, but when there is, like, 100% evidence, like, I'm for it, and for people like this.
Okay, we'll see when I do my episode at the end, when you hear everything, what your opinion is. I'll be curious.
I'm excited to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a tough subject, because it can go either way. It depends what's going on, but yeah.
Yeah, and everybody, me and Kirsten, totally, everybody is entitled to their own opinions. You definitely, whatever you believe in is what you believe in. This is honestly just our opinions.
Kind of sharing ideas, throwing things out there.
Yeah, throwing things out there. Have a little conversation. Yeah.
Savanna's boyfriend, Ashton Matheny, was given custody of Haley Joe at this time, and she looks just like Savanna. She's so cute.
I can't wait to see pictures.
Her dad says that she's the best thing in his life.
Oh, crush me.
Roberta says she tells her stories about her mom all the time, and she tells her mom is in heaven.
Oh.
So that is the terribly, horrible, sad story of Sanna Greywind.
Yeah, you ripped my heart a little bit out.
Yeah, this was a tough one. Yeah, even just, like, researching it, it was tough to read, and on the documentary, it was tough to watch. You know, and hear.
Yeah, that one. That was very sad.
There is one positive that came from this tragedy. In October of 2020, Savanna's Act was signed into law. This is a bipartisan effort to improve the federal response to missing or murdered Indigenous persons, increasing coordination among federal, state, tribal, and local law enforcement agencies.
Now all we have to do is fingers crossed that it goes nowhere for the next 4 years.
I mentioned...
Did I say that? I mean...
I mentioned earlier in the episode I want to shed some light on missing and murdered Indigenous women. Across the US and Canada, Native women and girls are being murdered or going missing at alarming rates. New NativeHope.org reports, the National Crime Information Center reports that in 2016 there were 5,712 reports of missing American Indian and Alaska Native women and girls, though the U.S. Department of Justice's Federal Missing Persons Database, NamUs, only logged 116 of those. 116 of 5,700.
What?
Yeah, their missing and murdered Indigenous women cases are extremely underreported, and that is a big part of the problem.
Oh my God, can you imagine how many people's cases that is that we could be telling?
Yep.
But like, there's nobody cares. What is happening?
There's no words. Like, it's infuriating. A bigger part of this problem is from the Indian Relocation Act. Many Native Americans do not live on tribal lands or reservations, only 22% do. So this causes a variety of crucial issues involving reporting policies, jurisdictional complications, and communication and coordination problems between agencies. That is a big problem why a lot of it does not get reported the way it needs to be, because no one's taking accountability.
Of course, we're all going to just point fingers at everybody.
No one wants to better the situation, just like, oh, it's their fault. Oh, but it's because of this.
Yep.
More than 4 out of 5 Indigenous women have experienced violence, which is 84.3%. More than half Indigenous women experience sexual violence, 56.1%. More than half of Indigenous women have been physically abused by their intimate partners, 55.5%. Less than half of Indigenous women have been stalked in their lifetime, 48.8%. Indigenous women are 1.7 times more likely than American women to experience violence. Indigenous women are 2 times more likely to be raped than American white women. And the murder rate of Indigenous women is 3 times higher than American women. Women are not the only victims, though. 82% of Indigenous men are victims of violence in their lifetime. The Native Women's Wilderness page says, quote, "Red is the official color of the MMIW campaign, but it goes deep and has significant value. In various tribes, red is known to be the only color spirits see. It is hoped that by wearing red, we can call back the missing spirits of our women and children so we can lay them to rest," end quote. And I love that.
I love that too, and also our logo has all the red in it. I was just thinking that. I love
and
that.
Oftentimes you'll see like a red hand over the face as part of the symbol that they use.
Okay, yeah.
There is one more story I want to share that is very recent. 14-year-old Emily Pike, who is a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe, she was reported missing in January 2025. She was last seen walking in an area near Phoenix and may have run away from her group home. She was in the foster care system. In the past 3 years, there have been 30 missing persons cases from that same group home. 30 in 3 years.
Why is nobody investigating this?
I'd love to know. Yeah, like, what is up with that? Why is there not more reporting on that? 30?
Yeah.
From a group home.
Yeah, that's a little alarming. 10 should have been a red flag. Yeah, 30.
On February 14th, 2025, Emily's remains were found near the US 60 highway near Globe, more than 80 miles from where she was last seen.
80 miles?
Her head and torso were in trash bags.
Oh my gosh.
Investigators do not believe she was killed where she was found. This case has obviously sparked more outrage among the Native communities. Hundreds of people came out to show support at a vigil on March 6, 2025. Her family is pushing for an Indigenous Persons Amber Alert system. There is a bill called HB 2281 making its way through Arizona legislature right now, which is part of that Amber Alert system that they're trying to get into place. The Sheriff's Office announced the FBI, Bureau of Indian Affairs, and San Carlos Apache Tribal Police are assisting in her investigation. If you have any information about what happened to Emily, you are urged to contact the Gila County Sheriff's Office at 928-200-2352. You can also reach the Bureau of Indian Affairs Special Agent at 505-917-7830. Or the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police Detective at 928-475-1755. She was found February 14th, and ironically, February 14th is MMIW National Day of Action and Awareness. On this day, activist groups organize women's memorial marches around the country to protest class disparity, racism, inequality, and violence against Native Americans. The largest march takes place in Vancouver, British Columbia, and May 5th is the official MMIW Day and is the most widely celebrated across the US and Canada. Every year, individuals wear red, attend marches, rallies, bike rides, fundraisers, and more to raise awareness. I will post links to the MMIW sites I used if anyone is interested in getting involved in any of this, or if you just want to learn more about what they do.
You said May 5th then for?
May 5th. Yep. February 14th and May 5th are the two celebration days.
Well, we already missed 14th, so poopy on that. We'll have to remember for next year, 5th, but we'll have to remember May 5th then, wear red.
Yep.
And maybe we can try and remember to post something.
Yeah. Or at least post something on our social media about it.
Yes.
So that's the story of Emily and Savanna.
Wow. I'm so glad you covered Savanna's case and sprinkled Emily and all these other ones in there because I mean, I had no idea the statistics that you just spit at me about all of these Indigenous men and women.
Yeah, it's scary. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and like...
It needs to stop. We need to do something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you... telling us about the February 14th and May 5th, I love that that's something that we can do to get involved, but I would love if that maybe we can even post other links of how to get involved as well, because I would love, I don't know if there's any kind of like Facebook groups or anything that we could join to try and support a little bit. I don't know, but I just feel so sad that
like this is their country. I don't care what anyone says. They were here first. This is more their country than anyone else's. The rest of us are immigrants. Yeah. And the fact that they're dealing with such violence is, I don't know the word.
It makes me so sad.
It makes me so angry.
Yeah, that too. Like, I could, and you too, and I'm hopefully a lot of our listeners, all of our listeners, you can't put yourself in the mindset of somebody who like looks at them like when I think of Indigenous people or African American or anybody of Central America and stuff like that, whenever we go and travel, I want to sit down and you tell me all your culture,
right?
Everything.
I want to know
from start to finish. You tell me everything. Every holiday throughout the year, 365. What do you do? What are your traditions? I mean, come on, tell me everything. I want to know. That's what I want to know from these people. Mm-hmm. And like some people look at them and violence and like think about like hating them and stuff. And I'm like, tell me everything.
I know.
Educate me. You guys are so cool.
Yeah.
I'm a loser.
Right. Like, we're just dumb white people.
Yeah.
There's nothing fun or cool about us.
No, just here.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why, like, I always wanted to be Native American when I was little. I wanted to be full-blooded Native American.
that's
They
so,
are
like,
so
so
cool.
funny.
I
What do
will
you want to be
always
when you
support
grow up?
them.
Mom.
What'd you say?
I want to be mom. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Native American.
Native American. Well, sweetie. No, but I'm glad we covered this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
that was a good one, and I'm glad there was some justice for Savanna.
Yeah.
Screw you, William.
Yeah.
You deserve more than 20 years.
Yeah. You
That's for
can
sure.
eat a bag of shit. Is what you can do.
Yeah, eat a bag of shit. Hope you're eating a bag of dicks in prison.
Yeah. Eat a bag of shit with a side of dicks. And choke on all of them and die.
All right. Yes. Wait, calm down, calm down. Calm down. I want it to be a slow death.
Maybe he'll slowly suffocate on it all.
Yeah. Good. In 20 years, somebody better get that done. Is anybody listening in prison? Oh, goodness. But make like a shadow and follow us on Facebook at
Lurking in the Shadows podcast.
Instagram.
Lurking in the Shadows podcast.
Check us out on TikTok.
At Lurking in the Shadows pod.
And send us a Gmail.
At Lurking in the Shadows podcast at gmail.com. Keep lurking around for our next episode. Bye.
Bye.